YouTube, what is up? We have a new patch. I did a video recently saying it's on its way, and here it is. So let's go through it. We're starting with the map changes. Love the map changes. We have Abyss here, mainly focused on B and middle. This is before, this is after, split the pictures in half. And we can kind of see you got a lot more room to hide back a site. Originally, you would have 2 positions you can hide. I would say you have arguably 4 positions now. And we've added extra crossfires, especially with this box getting put into the map as well. So love what they changed on this. I think this is really, really cool. Gives me some options, and this is what this whole patch honestly feels like. We want you to fight on site, so here are some options and less util, you'll see, to deal with, and you can fight over towards site. I will say middle as well. They kind of push this over towards middle, so you can have faster rotates or faster reactions as well. If you like lose over towards B, you can push middle in reaction. I think this is great. There was a developer meeting recently where they said they want their maps to feel like chessboards, and I would argue that a lot of the maps feel like checkers boards where your pieces are very limited. So I like that adding stuff like this actually means that you have more incentive to do stuff. You have more reactions. I lost B main, I can push middle. I lost A main, I can push middle. I can fight here. We can take control, and then we have safety nets. You're not as committed once you go over towards middle here, right? You can actually just take it in stages now. So I think this is a great change. Would love to see this on more maps and over towards sites. I think there's a lot of sites that you could add crossfires and positions you could hide in. So I really hope they take the feedback from this and they just try and do it on most of the maps, especially Icebox. Over towards B on Pearl, they changed a couple of things up as well, right? We've got a easier plant over towards here, even though maybe it could get spammed with an Odin. They got little cubby so that you can actually like get closer here and use some ults as well, and at the same time it blocks the line in an after plant. So they're trying to prevent you from playing all the way back over towards long B on Pearl. Also, I will say like X-ecking over towards the site, like Euro TPs, you have more options now, whereas like you had 2 options before. Right, you could kind of go here or go here. I would argue now you can also go towards the back, so you have more options for X-secking. And I think over towards here, this is cut out a little bit more, so it's like a safer plant as well. So kind of got better plant and safe plant. So I like these changes. We'll see how it plays up. And again, just more options is great. And you kind of have more. You're incentivized to fight on site more, right? With this cubby here and this cubby here, you have more positions to fight on site instead of going back towards long and having a smoke down after plant. They want you to fight on sites. You'll see. Okay, and what forces you to fight on site more? No util. And so this is the agent changes. We have cut down a lot of util at the moment. This is the main thing they're doing. 40 seconds cooldown is now increased to 60 seconds. So it's a lot of this is about pro play and not ranked, to be honest. None of the actual like prominent ranked agents have changed too much. Let's start with Breach. Fault line, the cooldown 40 seconds to 60 seconds like we said, and this used to be 1, but now it's 1.1, so essentially you can stun a little bit faster, but they will be stunned for a second less. So big nerf to Breach. Poor guy, keeps getting owned. But here you go, your flash is a little better. You know that flash that every pro turns? It's a little better if they don't turn it, so a little bit of a buff. Then just as you got your small buff, your ult's been owned. It is thinner. It doesn't own you for as long, but at least you're going to have more of it. So there's that. Big nerf for Breach, to be honest, on this one, as you'll see with pretty much all the initiators. Then we have Fade. Haunt, 40 seconds to 60 seconds, just like the Breach. And then the activation decreased from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. So once it's spawned, right, once it's up, it's only going to last for 1.5 seconds. So it's a small, well, this is big, and this is a small nerf as well. Prowlers, this is a near sight thing. Basically, once you get near sighted, you can now see more. That's across all the near sights, which is... honestly, I think this is a fine change. So fine with this. Nightfall, which is your ult, from 12 seconds to 8 seconds. So that's a big nerf. 4 seconds difference on this one. And then it's a thinner ult. so it doesn't fill up all of the sites, similar to what they want with a breach ult, but your decay stays 80 seconds. It doesn't decrease. So for the full 8 seconds, you take 80 of their HP, which is a buff, but because of all of this, it's enough. So Fade got wrecked, but I think Fade was pretty strong, so I kind of understand this. We'll talk about the cooldown stuff in a little bit. Then we have Gecko. Man, poor Gecko, dude. I mean, I'm not a Wingman fan, but this guy got a little wrecked. So cooldown upon picking up your orbs. So you throw Wingman out, double. 10 seconds to 20 seconds. You throw your flash out, 10 seconds. Nope. 20 seconds for them to come back now as well. So that's pretty rough. Wingman doesn't tank as much as well, which I'm fine with. I think we can nerf this guy. And his stun is now at 2.5. All stuns at 2.5. And then the ult has gone down a little bit as well. So Gecko wasn't getting much play, and he's going to get way more less play as well. He got completely wrecked. He got nerfed to hell. This one's big, man. 10 seconds to 20 seconds. It's probably a little overkill, but I think they thought if we're doing this to util, we have to put him in line with the rest of them. So there's not too much util, otherwise everyone would spam Gecko. KO, your knife, right? 60 seconds. So if you looked at our other video, I always said that there's kind of 4 stages that pro teams do, and all they're trying to ensure is that you only have these ability for 2 out of 4, right? For taking initial map control and then after plant, basically, or taking initial map control and then hitting a site. This is interesting because this is actually huge, in my opinion. The right click flash is a 2.25. So as much as this is a big nerf, this is a huge buff. This is actually pretty big. I think that you might see a couple of KOs just purely because of this. The right hand, or like the underhand flash, right click, was really strong anyway. So doing this, that's a long time that they've increased this for. So I could understand seeing some more of KO, even though he has been nerfed with this. People are so good with this flash. It's not like a breach flash which you can dodge easy. This just insta pops. So this is really strong. I actually think the amount of KO you'll see might increase, which is weird because of this. And then obviously we get into the ult as well. But this is really big because these are hard flashes to turn. Then we have KO ult, and this is basically the stim standard now. So Brim stim, Reyna ult. They shoot a little bit slower, but you get your gun out faster. Bit of a stim nerf, basically, across the board. Speaking of putting a new standard, it is now the 60 seconds recharge for the Recon of Sova. All of the initiators got pretty owned here. Obviously, no Teo change or no Sky change is the main takeaways from this one. They haven't been touched. Then we got Duelist's ISO. It's a shorter ult, so potentially less options or more places on site you can kind of avoid it by. Neon, this is interesting. I need to try this on a server, to be honest. So you can run for 4 seconds longer in terms of max sprint time to end of sprint time, but it takes 40 seconds to recharge from bottom to top. So this is kind of interesting, definitely for sure. Need to probably see this to actually like feel if it changes much at all. And then your stuns come in line with all the other stuns. 2.5 seconds on stuns now. Reyna flash, a lot weaker. For your Reyna flash, it gets popped a lot easier. And then the stim standard that we spoke about earlier. Waylay, your saturate, so the thing that makes you go slow-mo. You're only going to be slow-mode for 3 seconds instead of 4 seconds. And I still think that this is like a fast ability that you can't avoid. So I still think this is very strong. 3 seconds is quite a long time, for sure. Then your ult has been nerfed a little bit. It's a little bit thinner. You do fire it faster, but people that are hit by it are 1 second less hindered. But again, 6 seconds is still like pretty good. Then Yoru is interesting. So gate crash, this is your TP. It can be shot with 1 bullet, 20 HP now. But the audio plays from Yoru's location when Yoru teleports or fakes it. So what I'm thinking is it now makes 2 sounds, right? Say that I was to fake, say it's a 1v1, I was to fake my Yoru clone, my Yoru TP even. It would make a sound, and where I am would make a sound as well. So if they cleared the fake TP, they would now instantly know where I am. So it kind of reduces some situations, but at the same time, you could fake the fake on your defaults on attack as well, right? In pro play, you could take showers control, fake TP over towards long. They hear the TP from showers, and then you kind of, like, you're playing off the fact that you made sound there as well. This does give pro teams more options, but then maybe like the little nuance 1v1s, you don't want to use your fake TP as much. Or maybe the TP even sells it a little more. I don't know. I need to see this. I need to see this in game, to be honest. But that's how I think it works, that it makes sound and you make sound. Otherwise, you would just fake a TP and then it would just make a sound from where you were, and it's not good. So this one's interesting. I probably need to check this on the server to see exactly how it works. The fake out, the flash duration has been decreased. I mean, 3 seconds was a long time once you shot the clone. So still pretty long in terms of 2 seconds. This one's interesting, but I don't think it's enough. The flash duration decreased from 1.75 to 1.5. It does feel like the flash initiators now are looking at like a 2.25. So it's 0.5, well, 0.75, I guess, less than them, which is kind of significant, but I still think that that's pretty good flashed. And then I'm not entirely, I think that this is just like turning, right? Is this like turning the flashes more? That it was more effective? I think that it's now born in line with the other flashes. So like you turn a flash and you actually get rewarded for it more instead of your flash seem to just own you for longer. Dimensional, this is the big one that everyone's talking about. And I don't think this is how I would have gone with the agent as well. They just nerfed the ult heavy. So you can't use your flash, you can't use your clone in your ult, basically. So you can just TP out of there. It's more like an info ult now. But I will also say the way that most pro teams played it, this might actually be a buff for you, because the amount of crazy plays I see people going for, this actually means that you have to think about it. You have to have some thought behind it, get into a safe place. The weaker guns become a little stronger with it as well, so you could kind of hide around corners. Or the flash util, like Omen Flash, to help you out. It feels pretty strong here. So yeah, this is the big one. The big nerf to the ult for sure. You're less self-sustainable in your ult. Raise didn't get much of a change. On your blast packs, you can be slowed in midair, so if you get stunned or something, it's not going to go as fast. Raise, pretty untouched, to be honest. This isn't too bad at all. So Duelist got a little wrecked, but not too much, to be honest. If you look at this in comparison to the Initiators, I don't think it's that bad. Yoru probably got the biggest hit, but again, I still think the things that made Yoru fundamentally strong in pro play is still here. You can still TP across the map. Nothing like that changed. You still have flashes like the Initiators, so you kind of still fitting that hybrid of Initiator Duelist vibe. So I still think Yoru's pretty strong. I don't think this is too bad with it all. Just need more thought behind it. This owns ranked play more than anything else, in my opinion. Then we have the controllers. So the controllers, the smokers, Astra got wrecked as well. Astra got wrecked for sure. So your smokes come back slower. Your Astra stun pretty much only, well, you could use it twice, right? It like comes in line with the recon util. So this is your Astra suck, this is your Astra stun. Takes a lot longer to recharge, and it doesn't do as much. So Astra got owned here. Stim Beacon, we spoke about that, coming in line with all the other Stim Beacon changes. The dark covers, this is your smoke, from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. So similar-ish here in terms of how many times you can do your smoke. An extra 10 seconds on the Omen smoke is pretty significant. But at the same time, your Omen Flash, it travels not as far, so it's a little bit shorter. It's faster, but anyone that gets nearsighted can now see more. So it's like a buff nerf to the paranoia. And then obviously this is a nerf in terms of your smoke itself. And then Viper only, I say only, I don't think this is too bad at all. Viper only gets 20 less damage once you push for a wall. Instead of 30, it's 10. But I don't think that, like in theory, Viper should have come in line with all of these changes. So Viper actually got a huge nerf because all of the other recharge smokers have an increase of their smoke, right, time-wise. Whereas Viper, nothing happened to the fuel. So this is actually a Viper buff. Even though this is a Viper nerf, but this is a Viper buff. as a collective, because you can still have the same amount of smoke up and down or wall up and down. So this is a big one. I think Viper, especially his double controller, is still pretty strong. I think I would see quite a lot of Viper still. Okay, now let's talk about Sentinels. You know the double Sentinels that we always saw at Champs that were so prominent? Nope, we didn't see any of that, but for some reason, the Sentinels are getting absolutely wrecked. So Vice has been owned. It is the quickest way to summarize this is Vice has been absolutely owned. As soon as I'm about to throw my flash, it can now get shot, which most pro teams are fast enough to shoot, so you're not flashing anyone. And then even if you do flash someone, you don't get the info on them getting flashed as well. So yeah, your Initiator hybrid util for your Sentinel on Vice completely gone. The wall is easier to bait out, and I think you can see it a little easier. Your Thorns can get shot easier, and your ult got nerfed in terms of the range. This is huge. This one's really huge. And then we have Cypher. Cypher got more wrecked than Vice. If you thought that wasn't possible, it is possible. Your camera, once it gets shot, 60-second cooldown. So when you're doing your default, now people are more incentivized to kind of go aggro and break it. This one's the main one, though. Your trip, okay? So your trip, the wind up is decreased, right? So it's now, instead of stunning, it slows. It used to be 1.5, it's now 0.9. The main thing is, it doesn't reveal you, right? Players were tethered and revealed after. It says 0.5, but actually it was 0.3 that you would get revealed. And then so instead of getting revealed at 0.3, you now get revealed after it's hit. So it's either after it's hit or you've moved 4 meters. So it's basically 3 times longer to get revealed now from your trip, unless they move 4 meters away. So in pro play, it's gonna heavily reduce the amount of people that get killed. I'm not gonna say it's fully gonna reduce it. We've seen people in pro play get owned by trips before, but it takes basically 3 times longer because this was 3 seconds, not 0.5. They said it was 0.5, but you saw from the videos it was 0.3. So 3 times longer to now get get revealed from a trip. This is kind of cool though, right? Say a jet dashes in, disrespects it, it will instantly slow them and reveal them over towards site. So I do like that, but I would say Cypher got killed on this, to be honest. Cypher really got killed. Then we have Killjoy, nearly done. We've got Killjoy. Your turret, once it gets destroyed, it's going to take longer, right? Similar to the camera. Moving away from it as well, it takes a little bit longer for it to come fully back. Then we also have the tagging's been increased. So once you get tagged by the turret, it slows you down more, so you can't try to take timings as well or disrespect it. Alarm bot, it's a lot quicker to shoot, and same thing, if you move out of range, it comes back in the extra second. So yeah, all of this is, well, this isn't too bad for Killjoy. But then Deadlock, the cooldown of your grav net, 40 seconds to 60 seconds. So all of those bind comps, probably not going to see it as much, comes in line with all the cooldown util from Initiators. Your barrier mesh, it's cheaper, but it's a lot weaker on this one, which I think is fine. That thing was crazy tanky. And then once you stun people, every stun in the game now is 2.5 seconds, so your stuns aren't as good. Then we got Sage, same thing with the price, and same thing with the wall. It's just a little easier to shoot, which again I think is okay. But other than that, Sage didn't get hit too much, so I still think Sage is like relatively strong. And last thing on this patch that we're going to talk about is the rifle changes. So let me quickly talk about the yaw. The yaw is when it starts shooting and then goes to the side, right? These are your bullets. Your gun's getting pulled towards the left and you have to pull right, to try and make it go into the middle. So the yaw is when it starts going to the left, right? Your bullets start going over towards here and then it switches over to the right, kind of vibe like this. And then you're trying to correct it. This now takes a lot longer. Right, it takes a lot longer, but the chance of it switching is a little higher. So this basically gives you a lot more time to realize that it's going to the left and for you to pull your mouse to the right to correct it and hopefully try and get more of a spray in the middle. On top of this, for the Phantom and the Vandal, you now get 2 extra bullets, so 4 to 6 for the Vandal. So before it would be like this, right? Say you're spraying 4 bullets, then it would start going to the side, right? Then you got to correct it. But now for the Vandal, you shoot 6 bullets and it's pretty much going to look like this. You can kind of just pull straight down and then hopefully get them all in the center, and then it will start going to the side. So yeah, basically spraying is a lot better is the easiest way to summarize it. Spraying is a lot better at the moment. And then it's going to be easier for you to correct which side it's leaning towards. Then on top of that as well, we have the Spectre. We've got a Spectre buff. It's a little bit better at tapping long range. And again, we have the whole thing where it's easier to correct the recoil in terms of left to right, and it doesn't kick in until a little bit later. Stinger. See, the Stinger one's weird. You basically, the recoil kicks in earlier, but I don't think it changes too much. It's still good at what it does, right? It still has the fast, rapid fire that is why teams are using it. So that worries me a little bit. Yeah, the spread happens 1 bullet earlier, but it's still a similar recoil. So yeah, I don't think the Stinger nerf is enough. And that's it. There's some other patch notes about like Premier and stuff like that, but this is kind of all I care about in terms of the pro play stuff. My opinion is it's going to get interesting. I don't understand the why too much. I think the why is that they want people to play on site, but it really strongly just feels like it's a delayed reaction to the Teo meta and the fact that everyone was talking about too much util, and it doesn't make sense with what just happened at Champs. We had primarily double controller, double duelist, and we have initiators and sentinels taking the main brunt of the nerfs. So that doesn't really align in my head. In terms of where this puts the game, I think ops are really strong. No op change. I think outlaws are strong now. I think judges are strong. I think Odins are strong. Odin's less, I guess, because you have less util to make them kind of spam through walls, but if you understand the angles that they're strong at, it makes them strong. So yeah, I expect more gun abuse. Teams like NRG will be loving this for sure. They're the best at abusing guns at the moment. I think with some of the changes, maybe even Paper X are going to kind of like this, right? Ray's not taking too much hits. You might unironically start seeing triple duelist. And I think triple duelist could work with like some of the duelists that have like slight initiator util. You could make it work like that. I think you'll see teams go either ends. I think you'll see teams doing a lot of double controller, double duelist, but I think there's some teams that will want to play how the game originally was and kind of lean towards double initiator, but I do think that those teams will get wrecked. And they'll try cover up the fact they don't have as much util, and they'll try play double initiators, but I just think that some of the duelists do the better jobs of the initiators at the moment with slightly more risk, but they're way more flexible in terms of being able to overwhelm and spam hit side saw movement abilities. So yeah, I think a lot of Viper. I think Viper's great. I think Viper, because of these, Viper just makes a lot of sense. It's a double controller. I can see a lot of double duelist, and then I don't know, for Sentinels, I don't think you're going to see much Vice. I don't think you're going to see much Cypher. I think Sage is still in a great spot. I think Vito is strong. Yeah, that's pretty much where I view it. I would actually be playing a lot of Sage, to be honest. A lot of Chamber if you want to play a lot of Chamber. All the TP abilities got a lot of stronger as well, just because there's less util to push you off. I don't think it's okay. Weapon changes, awesome. Map changes, really cool. Agent changes, I don't understand the why. None of the ranked agents got hit. It's not for ranked. Pro play, it's all of the stuff that was prominent and wrong, in my opinion, on pro play didn't get touched too much. Yoru got touched. It was a bit of a different approach to what I would have done. The Hinder, it's not what makes the Hinder strong that got hit. I don't know, yeah. I think it's going to be interesting. I expect double duelist, double controller to be super dominant. I think some teams will really experiment. But map change is good. So there's that. Let me know in the comments. A very controversial one for sure. It doesn't ruin the game or anything. I think there's a lot of overreactions right now, but it definitely changes up the way that you have to think about the game. I just think that Duelists look really strong right now. Duelists look really strong, and Viper looks really strong. Okay, let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.